Tatine Rang Dungi Te Tangi Nangi Singit. Well, Tatine Tanda Lamdi Telamdi Shugu Sumne Douga Tene Rang Dungi Te Tangi Nangi Singit Te Besech.
That's sure.
What in my tat and so she see it, so she Tine, so she teacher, Tago to Shido, sent him. That in it, Jamdu says, Gyumed, said it, Dunginam gets said it. Around Gyumed, Senator, Gyumed, Bejanali Yevana Shijane, Tusma, said and Material, Duna, Lama, Ani. 통화도지 참 조대 두배원 부르지제 디타고도 이제 상계전세 뭐 간둘러서 빠두매 봐 냠바제네 아니 마타디 딘데지 구구야레스 다 그래서 그래 조신 said that the Kanepa Sushin said that the but in the Majune and Duna and his Sanjay chance about to make by you somebody what in the Chevy in the Sushin said the tea goes to be is said of said Dumagoche did done duty to do Chevy in a Dumagoche. And then Duna Lama Java said the Jevatam Shuyu Sambarich. I think there's some Lutana Lama Java said the Jevati Dujeg Mevana Shijeni. Naranju some look at the stamp in a Tina Shijeni Shugi. Duna Yeva Meva chess on it in his so she 메바체바나 신치 용구이 나란주의 통구야 말이지 슈유 드나 제비 마차마 메바 유삼바나 신제비나 디나 신제니 산제기 가르수레 소신티 메바체바나 신제니 슈구이 버레 이내 양가란 중으로서도 통투야 말아. 니디 예버디 수수 이지 전에 딘데 제선에다 소신 쇠다버세도 그 추구야레스.
근데 랑기 둥기 되게 장 남가서야디 초신레디 그 개비래. 개비세도 초신 말아디.
개비세도
개비도 초신 집어래.
대비도
초신 집어라. 나.
네, 단도 초신 원래 심이야리. 초신 세트버세 지야리 줄.
So, if you look on page number look at page number 33 at the bottom, taking refuge. Rinpoche read from the He from within that visualization as follows in the space directly in front of me in high, so forth, all the way down there. So this is object of refuge, but it's really similar to the merit field. Yeah. So when we practice this, when we visualize the merit field or the object of refuge, so it's not necessary you need to read all these lines. So the most important thing is that you need to visualize properly. So then when you read down this text, so there's sometimes for some people it's difficult to visualize in that details what describes in the text. So then if you have difficulty visualizing as text, the description in the text, then you can visualize, make it simple. So then at least so you have to visualize man figure as Buddha. So then so it says Lama Tuan Dojichan. Lama Tuan Dojichan means Lama, Buddha, Buddha Shakyamuni. Buddha means Buddha Shakyamuni and Vajradhara. So you can visualize three beings in one entity. So then the man figure would be the man aspect or the appearance of that quality would be Buddha Shakyamuni. So then they're surrounded by all the yidams, means meditational deities, and they're surrounded by all the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas. So then you can imagine all the other supreme beings, all the way down to the protectors. So if you have difficulty following these lines, so you can just have a simple visualizations of that. So then they said that if you visualize properly the object of refuge or merit field in a proper way, so it said that so these are supreme being, these are omniscient beings. So they will come right in front of you. So you only thing you need to make strong visualizations, right visualizations. Just by reciting lines without having any visualization may not necessarily happen like that. So they may not come, they may not present in front of you. But if you have a strong visualization, right visualizations without reciting, even without reciting all the lines, it said that they will come and sit right in front of you and take all of your offerings and all your requests.
Oh, tene choshin se ya de karesene ngonjugi wala yala dumba sinye jere chanza ta yala dumba se di chosa ya dire da chosa sa gi hingdile ani cha chesa gi hing choba pyusa gi hing 어디시도 초신식이래.第一사람은 아니 초사발라 초사사기 힘디 다 초신식이래.第一사 차체세는 차체사기 힘디. 어디에서디 덤바드네 등에 남같은 생계 준비하기 때문에 디나 시제네 칸에마 드니 셋업투나 투베제 디다 마투나 딩기 신드네 아니 차체기 있는 차체석이 유 아니 상계대 전스 빠드메바 뒤나유 삼바체 니 차체야 초바 퓨드 잠바 아란주 초바 메돌라 소바 퓨그르바 퓨드 잠바니 뒤나 초바 푸사게 신 초신 아니 라마자와 세트 제바 유 뒤나 유 삼바체 아니 초바 퓨그르바 어디 치기 되마토네 삼네 뒤나 문에 가르수 그래 상계 전선도 소바데 추박이 유 삼바체 아니 야 퓨구구야리 어디서 마타디 뒤나 라마 아니 추박이 초사사기 신 아니 상계 전선도 소바 빠드메바 무슨도 휴유 삼바르지 아란주 제고야리 디제바이나 아니 두제게 삼반나 시제니 폐기야래 폐기야래 아란주 퉁구야 말에 아란주 예절로 아란주 퉁구야 말에 아란주 뒤라 베 심제게 무슨 참말로서 봐 봐도 매가 야리 띵어주 퉁투구민도가 디나시 초신도 수에 랑게 삼루 담번 땅이나 삼루 땅스들 백이야리 딩은주 퉁투게야 말이 도마도네 무슨 유 삼바르지 제니 차제 추바부 제니 야라 듬버세야 디고를 용구야 차제 초사야디 어디 지제상 디게침부레스.
So the purpose of visualizing merit field is that subsequently we are going to engage in 7 limbs practices. So then when we practice 7 limb practices, so then we need a merit field. Merit field means it's a basis or an object that we accumulate merits. So these are the objects that we, through our practice, we accumulate merit based on that object, the merit field. So then when we do prostrations, so we are doing prostration to the merit field. So then the assembly of the merit field is something that you can follow the instruction, the book, or you can just have a simple visualizations. Again, visualization is so you can visualize Lama, Buddha, and Vajradhara, Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, the assembly of all the supreme beings in front of you. And then also you need to believe that they are invited here, they came here. So when you invite them, so you should believe that they are coming to you, in front of you, to take your offerings and all this Dharma practice. So then if you do that, there are omniscient beings. They have magic power. So for that, so they have magic powers. So if an individual or the practitioner set up right mindset or right mindset, so they are always ready to come and ready to receive the offerings and practices. So that's why, so from our part we need to set up right motivation and we need to set up right mentality. So if you do that, they will come to receive your offerings and practices. So then we may say, if they are coming to us, in front of us, so then how come we can't see them? So there are many things is really hidden to us, even physical objects like small germs, so we cannot see them. So we know it's hovering in the air in front of you, but we cannot detect them by our naked eye. So then even if we cannot see a physical form, so then how can we see a subtle objects like the body of all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, emanation of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas? So only things we need to believe, and we need to the form or the belief that they are here. So if you do that, they will come because of their magical powers.
다디네 시버 초신 주에 추주야리 주에 추주세디 무 개침부 시버 인식야리 주에 추주디 야부면은 아니 무시 야부야 인구매버리 주에 추주디 야부지중나 아니 무시다 개발 메시지버리 주에 추주부디 디나스 단단에 조회추 두근안에 시바 초시세 때바세야 디비체 아니 초사야 되다 야라든바 멘데데제바 피와세야 되리 아니 조신기 된도 네 야라든바 세야데 다 ngara주 초사야 되리 ngara주 초사야 간가들이 차체 제주 초사기야라바 초바피 chanzawaada chuejing shaabasayadi ngaar nyeba chebala ani shaabachiya shaabadang ani jesu yeranga sayaji shengi gewala jesu yeranga sayaji ani kuishi isi chungo kuwa kuwa sayaji ani nyangari mendaba sowa daba sayaji ani nguwa che di yala dunyari dili 초사세게 응주 초사야 되게 초사세야 초디 디리 초사야디 초사 divjansi니야리 디나라 초사야디 저 차세와다 출발로 소바도수 소사야 되지. 지바장에 디바샤야 되지. 어디 디나래 뒤디기나래 아니 소사다 지바장이가 디나래 찬들이. 소사야 되래. 샤발레 심바디게 소사가 나래 샤. 소사바디나. 샤바디 지바장야 되나 샤.
So, so initially, we have the part of our practice is preliminary practices. So there are 6 preliminary practices. So one of the 6 preliminary practices is practicing 7 limbs or 7 limb pujas or 7 limb practices. So then when it comes to practice, the 6 preliminaries are very essential and very important part of your practice. So sometimes we may think, so we put a lot of focus and stress on our actual practice, and we kind of neglect or ignore the preliminary practices. For instance, 6 preliminary practices. So if you carry out 6 preliminary practices in a really good way or perfectly, so then that itself, that preliminary, even though it's like considered as a preliminary practices, but that itself becomes actual practice. And also it's really essential for your actual practice as well. So that's why when we do preliminaries, we need to focus and carry out thoroughly without any laziness or something like that. So then the the 7 limb practices. So 7 limb practices are making prostrations, and offerings, confession, the rejoicing, requesting to turn the Dharma wheel, and requesting not to enter into nirvana, and then the last one is dedication prayers. So there are 7, right? Are there 7? Okay. These are the 7 limbs practices. So in the 7 limb practices, there are 2 things happening. So there are 2 different kinds of practices within that 7, among the 7 limb practices. One part of the practice is accumulation of merit, and another part of the practice is purification of your negativities. So then except the prostrations, all the other practices are mainly focusing on the accumulation of merits and the confession or doing prostrations. For instance, confession is the practice of purifications. There are actually 2 main practices which contains in that 7 limbs of practices.
다드네 망가나도 야라 듬버프인데 차체바라지나 아니 랑기 차체 주된바 아니 랑기 콜도 셈제 탐제 삼루다 아니 랑기 차체바나시 셈제 탐제기 차체가 메바 삼루티 당구기야래 차체와 이네 라주고기 차체기 유베 삼루티 마담버제 아니 냠드베 심제 탐제랑 그 코드 예바 메바제 차체도 안디 디제베인 차체베인 아니 장주그 셈기 미바데 창기야래 아니 차지 체베인에 심제기 장다 냠베 수남 서기야래 저사 차체스도 차체를 리기차 나기차 이기차스야래 리기차 세야디 체나 리기코네 사베 디tip다야 나기차스는 나기코네야 주타마치줄라서베 냐바만부사샤베야르 두수다야 이기코네 차체인도 점바 이기코네 냐바 되자시다 콘도 나심노심나소바 삼박년바 Randall Sambangemba Mambu Kograva, did you eat you con a sabit? Eating a basagiari. Then you eat you con a chatsavina, and eat you con a sabin yabatus diag. Just rangi chechogi jawakari jebine masimje tamjeti randa kod nimbo yobachi samlutani chigugere chechogi jawakandi chigine ati is jesuna ani chechogi jawati lapchimbo ngaranzu kangulo sonam dugiyari tibata gugiyari sonam sasu gugiyari tas sonam sapata tibata bala raharabji jugo samlutambayina sonam sabayina sonam chunju tibata chunju tagiyari ti machebe jaranta semje tamje nyamda semje tamje gadi jingi semje tamje randa kordu yobaje ani kewe jawadi jesuna ani kewe jawa chunjuji chujuji kamaji jebine ani sonam padu meba sagere rala kepsan chimburagi yabre rajugo chan samlutambe rala kepsan chimburagi mebre oti insan chujogi jawa kare jene rangi chujogi jawa jeba diesene rangi kodo gadi jingi semje tamjegi yebe mebaje dusugi rangi chasewe mebaje gubiyares.
So when you carry out any dharma activities, always try to include kind mother sentient beings in your prayer or in your thoughts and in your practice. For instance, when you do one of the 7 limb practices, the first one is prostrations. When you do prostrations, instead of thinking of yourself doing prostration by alone, so you can think of all sentient being is joined with you and doing prostration with you, and include entire sentient beings with you. So if you do that, it said that you will accumulate merit same amount as sentient beings, number of sentient beings. It said that. And also, if you do that, if you include entire sentient beings, kind mother sentient beings with your practice, and it is also a practice of bodhicitta. So then, whatever you do practices. So if you do it out, or do it with bodhicitta intention, so then that practice becomes really profound practice, and instead that becomes the most powerful practices. So then, same thing. So if you do other practices, so you should include and always try to include entire sentient beings, entire kind mother sentient beings with your practice. So then, for instance, when you do prostrations, practice of prostrations, there are 3 ways to do prostrations. It's not limited to your physical prostrations. So you can do mental prostrations and the verbal prostrations. So again, so when you do all these practices, then imagine all sentient beings doing the same thing, whatever you're doing. So then they will accumulate merits and they can purify their negativities. So then if you don't do that, if you don't include entire sentient beings, just doing, so focusing on your own interests and your own happiness and your own benefits, so that is something that you are abandoning the mother sentient beings. If you do that, so then your practice becomes really limited and really weak, and it's not powerful as including entire sentient beings. That's why in order to make your practice profound and powerful, always try to include the kind mother sentient beings with your practice.
제사 먼저 차체도 좀봐 차체당 신구기리 차체다 마시나니 겨와 취주지를 매야 처기리 제사 먼저 녜다다 디마 욕부제 침배에는 욕부제 줘야야리 아니 이내야 지 냠낼 펜도디 한국말 왔대 욕부제 침배에는 야부국말에 하야부마구나 아니 지 냠내 지도 잠바 제단의 신기 말봐 어디 상에 단다 디마 양조 럽 아니 딘제지야디 아니 차체다 있는 차체야 있는 차체다 shenbe gone chatsena ani kebe ran kebe mambu yubare chatsedan mashin baje chatsebina ani ran kebe chunjuji le ragi mebare jesa nge dusi ma jubuji mashin baje ne dusi nendeje ne labyati ta 차체 신수나 차체당 직신수나 아니 차지 전에 배운 받으면 봐 아니 니숨 전에 배운 받으면 봐 야르바 아니 차체당 마신 배는 차만 부전에 아니 배운 추주질의 연구이 매버려 어디 인사 내 쉬야지 들이스
So Rinpoche said, so so he likes to take time on these teachings, and he doesn't want to rush on this these teachings. So this the main reason is that if he just rush or just glance on these teachings may not beneficial to you. So then we have heard like this kind of teaching many times. It's not the first time, many times, but still we are lacking something. So we are not able to carry out the practices accordingly. So then and he said he likes to repeat this really important part of the practice over again and again. There's something that may stick in your mind, so then that becomes more easier you to make it practice, put in a practical way. So then even though like if you know how to do a single one practice perfectly, so that is better than knowing a lot of practices. For instance, the Processions. If you don't know the meaning of the Processions and how to do the Processions and how to carry out your visualizations during the Processions, so if you don't know all of them, so even though you may do like 100 times of Processions, but they will be useless, so maybe not beneficial as you aim for or you intend for. So if you know all these elements, how to carry out practice and like all this necessary for this practice, procession, for instance, processions, even though if you do one processions, so that becomes really powerful, and then it's much better than doing 100 number of processions. So you do with right proper intention, a right mindset, and in right way. If you do even one processions, that will be much beneficial than doing number of procession without knowing the meanings.
That is just Lugi cha said Lugi Gyumed but to so Lugi cha Lugi cha said then this Jabin Lugi cha Lugi Gyumed and then Nagi cha said Genesis to Barab the Genesis on Manapemos Jampa in a Changi Juba in a Nagi cha together. Ani Tada Nimdo Devachiati Genesis Maneta into Jampa Genesis Devachene. Ani Manit Jampa in a Nagi chat, Yigi chat, Ganga digere. Yigi chat said to Debare. Ani Nagi chat said Debare. Sange Johnson Douga. Penny Omunimuni Mabuni with Susanes, Tomba Sangele, Douga Chigiare, change Gone Dugiare, Nag Charigiare, Mani Tansun and Nag Charigiare. What the Mani Tansun, Nag Gone Sabe Titip Kanga Mambu Tagriva, Omunimuni Tunsune. ngagi kone sabe titi mabu tagiyare. Tusu ngagi cha ri. Lugi cha zeta tisi sunga. Oti yinsa, ani lugi cha kande yin kare yinba, ngagi cha kande yinba. Ani yigi cha sin de kare yinba tusu ha gugu yares.
So, for instance, prostrations. So, there are three kinds of prostrations: physical, verbal, and mental. So, the physical prostration is something that you show or gesture or respect to others. So, for instance, folding two hands at your heart is a physical prostrations, and lowering your head in front of somebody is a prostrations. That is also a prostrations. It doesn't necessarily has to have some kind of actual prostration touching your body on the ground, so it doesn't need to be that. And also folding like holding your one hand at your heart level is also a prostrations. So doing prostration, the physical prostrations, something that's showing a respect to other. So then the verbal prostration is that reciting a mantra of Buddhas, sort of like. So it means physical prostration, the verbal prostration is something that you praise someone else. So then when you recite mantra or the name of Buddhas, that is praising, making a praise to praising Buddhas. So that the meaning of the mantras or the name of the Buddha, all the name of the Buddha has a lot of meanings. So then you're kind of expressing all of these out loud verbally. That's it. That is verbal processions. And then the mental procession is faith and developing faith and devotion to the holy objects, sort of holy beings. So that is mental processions. So then if you know how to do procession and what kind of processions, so then there are many ways to carry out that practice. So it's a really simple way. It doesn't require a lot of arrangement and stuff like that. If you know how to do this kind of practice, it's easy to carry out.
다티네 쳐바시게래 쳐바. 쳐바티 치 쳐바다 나기 쳐바세 아딘데 mam부야리 진짜 쳐바세야디 지다디게 차세와디 쳐바리. 쳐바. 쳐바세. 쳐바세야디 상게의 전주 semba 투인에 버지 예수나 아니 쳐바시게래. 투인에 버지 버딜 쳐바시게래. 차체디 쳐바리. 이내야다 야라 dwing나네 쳐바세야지. 디 쳐바디 메돌라 소바. ngaranzu choba piya jiba medo piya ani shi mame piya ani yunjab piya dosu choba sigere je choba piya samlu karitan gore sam seti rana kange mambuji yarba rana kange mambuji yune kange seya chitu ji 아니 지지게 알바 디나시 라나 강에 요번나시 샘제 예절로래 강에 빠두메 버여버래 샘제 빠두메 버라 강에 빠두메 버야리 샘제 두수 아니 라나 지 진체메 버경버 경경인 버래 아니 상계게 샘제를 넣지 제소는 상계를 내봐 제바던 다와인 집으래 샘젤 펜타나 상계 투 기버래 상계 개박이 내가 지금 있는 샘제기 샘젤라 니지 지고 이버래 그래서 샘제 구월 지고 그래 샘제 구월 지고 어때 샘제 구월 지야 띵가란 주기 초바지 표네 샘제 탐제기 강에서야 치도 피고 유 삼부 제외네 아니 초바지 표현도 선언 받으면서 초바지 표현도 상계 투기 가르쳐서는 상계를 심지어 강에서야 미셔지기 공부야 말이 안주고 심지어 상계고 공부도 틈바지니 심지어 강에서야 치도 초바 표현이나 상계 투기 그래 안쳐서 choba pidu ra na cha meyo wa jita tinde ge samlo ra ju ju ge samlo ta thank you me bin pare ra ge kange yoba na shi simje thamje le kange ti yare jesa ra shi simje thamje ge kange se ya chidu choba pigu yu samba jebe ina ani choba jik po pindi zamba ne sonam padu meba sagi yare sangye chansab kangalo gu kingi yare ku samlo kandre tansong choba pidi samlo kandre tansong kurang chugo gu samlo tansong semje tamje kange seya gu chidu samlo tansong ati kingi yare ba kin indu sa semje tamje kange seya gu chidu choba pidi samlo te tamba ina sangye gu tu gigi yare sangye chansam gu tu gigi yare ngaranzu de hagu mare de sangye chansam gi ngaranzu samlo karatane di kingi re kingi yesane samlo yapuchi tan suna sangye tu gigi re ani de choba senye de ani choba di yasho di re.
So the next the second the 7 limbs practice is making offerings. So there are different ways to make an offerings and different types of offerings. The outer offerings, for instance, like outer offerings, inner offerings, secret offerings, and so on. So there are different types of offerings as well. So then when you make an offering, so we, for instance, when we make a flower, so there's different ways to make an offering. For instance, you can set up water bowls and offer the smell of incense and light, light offering. You can do all kinds of different make offerings. You can make all different kinds of offerings. So then when you do this practice, so when we do this kind of practice, when we make an offering to Buddha, so we always seeking something. So if you are going through a sickness, you are having some sickness, so in order to cure from that sickness, we go out to temple and make an offering to Buddhas and asking them to help on your sickness and to cure your sickness. So we do that. So that is so we have some difficulties, that's why we go out and make an offerings to Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. And you should also think that similar way all the sentient beings has difficulties and their sufferings, and you need to look at their conditions. And so then also you should think of, like, when you make an offering, you should also think for their suffering as well. So wish them to free from their sufferings. Okay? So then that is this is, and also this you carry out that kind of visualization, do this kind of practices as your responsibility. It's not their like obligation. So because it's your responsibility, because they have been extend their kindness to you as a personal, many times. So then if you look at their kindness, so that is like, it's unbelievable and unimaginable, sort of like they have extend their kindness to us. So there are many ways they have extend their kindness to us. For that reason, so we should think about their happiness, and we always include their in our prayer and practice. So then if you do that, that practice becomes much powerful, and you're not thinking for yourself. You're not making that practice really limited. You're making that practice really profound. Yeah. So then, essential meaning of making offering is to please Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. So if you please them, so that becomes the best or the most supreme offerings to them. So then regard for that. And also when you do prostrations, the 7 limbs practice prostrations, so that can be an offering to them, because you're trying to help yourself, you're trying to purify your negativities and stuff like that. If you do that, that actually pleases Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. That can also become offerings to them. And also so then so the best offerings to them would be pleasing them, right? So that means stop harming sentient beings is also becomes offerings to them, and helping sentient beings is also becomes offerings to them. So then you may think like when you practice, so then by having that kind of visualization is not effective and may not be like useful in a thing. So then if you think that, so then so you should know that Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, they have power to read other sentient beings' mind. If you intend to help sentient beings, if you intend to protect sentient beings, of course they will understand, they will know what you think, what you are thinking. So by having that mentality with you and helping sentient beings, that itself actually pleases Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. So that's what that becomes offering to them.
That is it. Anita, Nandu Chobatinde Mapine, ya, Chobatilla Lana maybe Chobasia Jerry, Jeju Semkumia, Sanjigi Chun Zimbas. Ani Karasugre Tube doing the Yamsulembas. This Umbuti Lana maybe Chobas, the Choban and Choba Chotuguba. Jeju Semkungi name. Ani Tabarishi Medota Yujuda to Supi Matune. Ani Jeju Semkungi, Semjagutun to Sanji Jukuba Toba Tomachimarus Yambarabati, Jeju Sems. Semje Tamje Tungeta Teata, Dewatan de Yagichitu, Sanji Jukuba Tobasho, Sambarabati, Jeju Semkum Sigare. That Chubela and Chuba Cho to give it the tea in jeopardy. Tea is a Ganadu. Ani Yunjo Primatu ne Ani Metola Sobata Jimbala Sobatu Sudan Matune Ni Jeju Sem Senior to Comda Nita Chevena Chuba Cho to give and Dodden Sanjig Sum, but Choba Sums Lana maybe Choba Sumiare Sanjig Chud Zimbasiati Ni Jeresi Manita at the Sanjig Chuzimba, Sanjig Chusiati, Sanjig Ni Ten Manita Suni Jeresi Tenba Chuzimba Sayati Tenri. Or the Manita Suni Choba Lana Meba Chimbri. Or the Insa Anandu Choba Sayati, Yan Choba Sinyati. Dindes G Medota G Dindeji Samutani Chegove nearby Mabry. Chobagu Cho to give a data Janjugu Sims. Simjeg Chit to Sanji Jukuban Tonachimaru. Simjegta Simjeg Gang Dungesea. Simjeg Dewa Dubiag Chito. Sanji Jukuban Tonachimaru Tobasho somebody. Jeju Sem Comsigare, or that you Gombina, any Chobag and a choti gubajim, but just a Chobasiati, Jeji Tankuvenia by a marriage, Chobasiatilla.
So the one type of offering is called unsurpassable offerings. So that is like the meditating on bodhicitta, and then holding Dharma. The second, and the last one is Todin means whatever you learn, put that into practice. Putting them into a practice. So these are the three types of unsurpassable offerings, and also that kind of practice is revealed in sutras, Buddha's teaching, Buddha's teachings. So then the bodhicitta, meditating on bodhicitta becomes the most supreme practice. So then sometime so we may not able to afford buying materials like flowers and food and all these offering objects. So then, but still we can do a profound practice, offering practices. So for instance, meditating on the bodhicitta. So it becomes best offerings to them. And the holding dharma means reciting names of Buddhas. For instance, reciting Om Mani Padme Hum, the names of cheristic mantras, the Avalokiteshvara mantras. So that is like holding dharma. So that includes all other mantras, name of the Buddhas, like Om Mani Mani and Om Tari Tutari and so on. So Om Tari Tutari and so on. So on lana maybe cheba the chanjugi sem gome the lana maybe cheba res ani chiksung
lana maybe cheba sumyer chanjugi sem gomba sangi chimba ani tebe di nyamsolemba
chanju sem gome chiksung so ikaragi
simje tamje gu tungne se ya ta dewa tu ya chi tu sangi ko ba to shows nyambati
the chabar thara chabar is la shawra the chabar res so anyway, so bodhicitta is that there are two intentions, wishing to obtain enlightened state for yourself in order to help sentient beings. So this will be the most supreme intention or the best dharma practice, or also best offering to Buddhas and Bodhisattvas.
Just that Chobasiati Ani Jeju Sim de Choma Sunjeju Company, paying part of Mabasumbari. Jeju Tibat of Jeshindu Meseba. Dini zobe janju sem membe geshin gangi sigi neba jurs. Ji diba dobji shindu meseba dosu. Ani janju gisem mayin bagi ani gewa shindagi sigi ne tuku mari jebri. Diba dobji shindu meseba di. Ani janju gisem gomsuna ani diba dobji di jombar chigiri jebri. Timma yinji gewa shengi jombari nugu mari jebre. Ochasa janju gisem sinye tu kumna. Ani chobagana ge cho tu gyubari rangi tikba mabu sayari tikba jumya ge cho tu gyuba janju gisem re. Cho mabu sa guyare cho sayagi cho tu gyubati janju gisem re.
So the bodhicitta practice stands the best practice because it's in the Bodhicharya Aryatara Bodhisattva way of life. Yes, in the Bodhisattva way of life, it said that even heavy karma, something that cannot be purified by ordinary virtuous act. So that even that kind of heavy karma can be purified by the bodhicitta practice. The bodhicitta practice said that. So there are some negativities, bad karma that cannot be purified by ordinary virtuous deeds. So then if you do bodhicitta, so that can actually purify that kind of negative karmas, heavy negative karmas. And when we say bodhicitta practice, we don't need to wait until we get actual bodhicitta mind or actual bodhicitta practice. Even the superficial kind of level bodhicitta is enough to purify your negativities. And when we carry out the bodhicitta practice, that also fulfills our two needs along our spiritual development. And the in order to gain some spiritual development, so we need to purify all the negative qualities and replace with the positive qualities and the positive karmas. Right? So when you do that, when you practice bodhicitta, so that bodhicitta practice can purify very heavy karmas. It's described in the bodhicitta aritara, the way of bodhisattva life, and also that accumulates a lot of merits. So by doing one practice, that actually fulfills our two needs for the spiritual development.
Oh, that is it. 그래서 천저와다 취진시에도 차서와 지수와 처바디 지수와 다 샤바세들이 랑기 나르 사셰베 디버디파 다이 더덥지야들 샤바시게레 딜레다 나르 랑기 아란주게 디버디레 nga rangi pena jawangemba chebati la rangi chebasiri rangi jawangemba majene ya mishinda jawangemba chechusuna chetu chubasi jevre ani rangi jawangemba maje shen jawangemba chetu majubache ani shendagi jawangemba cheyindu zamba 아니 텔레 이란 제수나 아니 디바스 제베레 야 디바티 시아디 베나랑기 소 제수나 랑기 기바스게레 랑기 소 마제베제 현다기 소 제주수나 현다지 밀라티니 소 제주수나 디바지바야리 디바니 차사레 코란라지 란라지 니 준사르와 다디 마제네야 현다지기 라나 마가와르지 지레 자왕 넘버체스는 랑 거기도 이란지기도 봐 거기도 봐 가수나 디버사차르 그 된다면 버리 지레 디버 빠드메 사바이 저사 기다 기제 이란 지제바 이란스 어디 인상 디버사야디 나란주 디버사야디 가르스는 디버사야디 랑기 자와디 제발라 때니 아니 마호바나 랄라 둥에 때버치니들 디버사야디 나란주 슈스나 디버시그르바 디버르브치 디나시 아디 나란주기 자왕nem바 제수는 마음바나 데브 둥에지 쩨그르바 딜레 디바시게브레 어디 디버티 아니 류지코네 사바 이지코네 사바 나그코네 사바 딘데야르바 따디 류지코네 사바이나 랑게 소럽 제베이나 디체 나그코네티 랑기소 마제네 신다지 체란티 미티리 세쇼 실랍스이나 오나심제티 세쇼 실랍이나 나그코네티 사버바 다 류당아티 메브체 이주코네 따치기 라라 마가와틸레페 네버치케소나 이 가그르바 나란주기 란돌은 네버치니틀이야 현다치기 네버체스나 안주 셈마팜베체 데디단도 이란치기르바 데 야부중수삼 콜 딘데주고요 삼비치제브라 어디 이지군에 사베티바시게레 어다다 샤바체발라 레 디버디 사지 디버모슨 그르바 샤야디 어디 딘데지레스.
So then the third one is confession. So confession means we're purifying negativities. So before we purify our negativities, so we need to identify what type of negativities we are purifying and what is the object to be purified. purified. So we need to identify what are the negativities, what negativities we accumulate. So then we accumulate the negativities through in 3 different ways. First, we engage in negativities act or deeds by yourself, doing it by yourself. So then the second type of negativity we accumulate through letting someone else do negative deeds by force, or maybe hiring them, or paying them to do something for you. So the negative deeds. So then the third one is rejoicing, so feeling good, enjoying others' misfortunes or others' difficulties. So then these are the 3 ways we accumulate merits: by doing yourself, letting someone else to do it, or the rejoicing someone else's misfortunes. So doing by yourself means, for instance, killing. So you're killing somebody, by yourself. So you do it by yourself. And the second one is you're letting someone to do, means so you're forcing them to do negative actions, or hiring them to do negative actions and stuff like that. So that is also accumulate negative karmas. And the last one is rejoicing. Rejoicing means like normally our enemy, when they have difficulties, when they go through difficulties, we kind of enjoy their misfortunes. So then in reality, we are supposed to feel sad about that, and we should feel empathy on their misfortune and stuff like that. Instead of doing that, so we tend to rejoice their misfortunes, their difficulties, and we do that. If you do that, by having that mentality, also creates negative karmas. And other negative karmas we create through our the physical actions, verbal actions, and mental actions. So the physically killing somebody and verbally manipulating somebody else to do negative actions, and mentally for instance rejoicing someone else's misfortunes. So these are the ways how we accumulate negative karmas.
Dati ngananzula da nyenga chisho di rangla magawa tili chi yapu chuchungsuna megawe lo kigiyari. Tubu chuchuna kawaga lo kigiyari. Dati nyenga chisho dewa di rangla megawa tili kange chitesuna rangka. Rangi megawa tili ya chi pusun sobara chi chungsuna ram megawa chi kigiyari. Wadati tati be chi shorab chi imbari. Aranzula jungye shote ti imbari. Di sabso chi kuya jari chi. Shen rangi so che bata. Shen so chi tuchu basa ya tusu. Shira yungbu marba. Tati rāla kānyē tili, rāla mēgēnyē tili yāpu chichōng su nē yāng simdū jē, sūsū dūmē jē. Rāla mēgāwā tili kāngē chē su nē yāng rāng kāwā kum yirāng jē. Wata tī ngānāndu lō nyēngā chē shū tī yubarī tī tīkbā chēmbu jē, dōndā mēwā rālan tāt nūzab chimbu chagiyari. Kula kāngi thē suna rāng kāwa kum suna, dōndā zāni ku kāngi thē yadi, dōndā zāni mē barba, tā kāngi tā rāngi tīkbai sāya ji mīshu jigi, rāli pēntō zāni yamaraba, rāli nūya jāngyā jiraba.
So among all these ways to accumulating negativities, so our most danger is that having rejoice on others' misfortunes, and also we tend to feel sad or worry, uneasy when our enemy have fortune. They are happy when they experience happy. They enjoy happiness. So then this is really danger to us. This is more likely happens all the time to us, and the rest of the other the negativities, all these actions is more likely may not happen to us. So we are not going to go out and kill somebody in this life. There will be sure something, and also we're not going to force someone else to do some negativities for you and hire someone to do it for you. These are less danger for us. So then the last one is something it happens to us many times and easily, and so that is, and if you look really careful, that is useless. There's nothing benefit on that, having that kind of mentality, rejoicing others' misfortunes. So by having that mentality, it's not gonna make that individual more suffer, or it's not going to enhances their sufferings. Yeah. And when they are having good time, if you feel sad about it, you're not happy about that. So then having that mentality also is not going to reduce their happiness. It's not going to have it. There's no function at all for that, having that mentality. There's no reason for that mentality. So that's what's, and on the other hand, that brings a lot of difficulties in you, for you. And it creates lots of negativities and makes you unhappy at that moment. And when they have, so that creates lots of negative karmas. So then the one side, there's no benefit for that, and the other side, that brings a lot of misfortune to you. So then you should think, you should make a judgment that whether it's worthwhile to have that kind of mentality or not. So then, of course, there's no reason for that. So that, and also this is really close to us. It happens to us really easily, and we need to be pay attention, careful for that.
That's that debate shaya to Garichugresena, Tambuti, Ngar Rangi, Tinde Jang and Bacheva to Sulin Gusim Kayati Kachim Bimbre, Tanging and Martinde Chevate dream into Sambachi. The Yaya Samsuna, Ngar Shevet Tipo to Machun Chun Drugia, Gyobati Kena, Gyobati Apukena, Tisana Namba Sunjim the top Seajer, top Shinane. Ani dibagi nimi tit maung panarala ya tunge patu me baching chimber chigre nyawale ke par chigre yitali ke par chigre tundule ke par chigyarba tusu tene ani pesasha sambachebe ne gyoba ke paras ti kechimbu imbre Tibu Kazechene Gyoba Mena Ani Tibatia top chiru duguer. Gyoba Chesona and Gyoba Chike Satudia Kugi Tipe Dayagichitu Manichi Matane Majune Tangriba, the Dayagichitu Ani Ku. Nyebati chun to bear. Odi Santati Narchevala, Rangi Chevata, Shen Chitu Chubata, Shenla, Iran Chevatusu, Javakiati catching breeze. Javaki suna Nyebati chun to bear is.
So, when it comes to practice of purifications, one of the most essential elements or the feature of this purification practice is regret. So then you should feel regret about your misdeeds if you have done something in past, and also if you have encouraged someone else to do misdeeds, and you should regret about that. Feel regret about that. And also if you have rejoiced and feel enjoy someone else's misfortune and have the misery and suffering, so then you should also feel regret about that. So this is really important part of your purification. So if you feel regret, so then that can actually purify your negativities. This again, the Gyobache, the Che, number Sunjin
Sunjimbari. The Dibagi Nimi. The Dibati Suna Yawalikia, Tontulikia, Italikia to Samluta. Ani Gyabakini. That Gyabaki Kugruva.
I'm the mission that you skin Dingel. Dingel, Shandashum Sahara, Jeshanti. The Ding the Lasho. So then, that is regretting about your misdeed is one of the four powers. So the one of the four powers, it called feeling guilty about your misdeeds or something like that. So feeling guilty means or about your misdeed is that by knowing the result of your misdeeds, so that the result of your all misdeeds would be lower realms experiences, being rebirth in hell realm and animal realms and so forth. By knowing that result and the consequences of your action, so then you feel regret. And also oh yeah, did it. The last thing.
Ani Gyabaki Suna Karasana, Ani teach it to Manita Yarabata, Chobapi Yarabati, Titabe Chitu, Tindi Chigriba, Gyaba Mena, Ti Yungumarva, Gyabati Yusuna, Ani Yavati Tabichi to Chobapia, Jeju Semukumia, Ani Shiana Jimbataya. Or to su any Nyabukun to Chibeto Sigari, or to Sujevi in a nitty yarn to create.
So then the earlier he said that so negativity is something that can be purified or can be eliminated. So by through, for instance, regretting, when you feel regret about your negativities, that having that intention, having that feeling itself actually reduces the power of negative karmas or intensity. And otherwise, so when we create negativities, so that negativities tend to multiply, by over the course of time, the period of time. So the longer you wait to purify them, so that actually keep increasing the quality or the negativities, the qualities of the negativities. So then if you regret about it, so that actually stops increasing, and that actually reduces the power of negativities. So then negativities, like for instance, you can, when you feel regret, remorse about your negativities, so then more likely you will take next step, so which is purification practice. So purification practice can be just reciting a mantra, single mantra, and doing some practices, carrying out some positive actions. So all of this becomes then the actual purification practice.
That in Maniti Tikarasa Shapa Sati, Shapa Sati, Ani Shapa Sati, Ani Karasugre, Tipa the Tabichi to carry chesunas. Ani ti shabari yari, tipa ti tabi chitu, kewa sangbu kanda chichene, chimbata nenda, choba pi nenda, janju gisem kum nenda, manita nenda, tusu kangalo, ni shakpa siti, nyeba ti tabi tablan rugu yari. O ti, tili gyoba mena nyeba tili, nyeba che shaba tili gyoba mena tu chigmarba, ta gyoba ti yuna, Ani Tibati Tabe Chitu, Ani Sambule Karichesune, Ani Ti Shakpa City, Shakpa Nal Shakpas, Tibati Shaya Tabre, Nyambakundu Chibe Tab.
So that means like any Dharma practice can be a purification practice. So then if you aim to purify negativities, then carry out any Dharma activities, that Dharma activity becomes purification practice. For instance, when you have a regret about your non-virtuous actions, misdeed, if you were aware of them, so then bring it in your mind. So feel guilty and feel remorse about that. So then, if you have that, so then afterwards, if you carry out any form of Dharma practices, so that Dharma practices, if you aim to purify that particular negativities, or in general negativities, so then if you aim for purification, so then all the practices becomes purification practice, even like reciting a single mantras and doing prostrations and meditating on bodhicitta, and any form of practice that actually deals with purification practice.
다드네 야라 시바 제수예라 세디 제수예라세 단지데 제수예라 지야디 자왕엠벌 그래서래 자왕엠벌 아니 제수예라 제수는 띠버래 다 단데디 겨월 제수예라 세디 겨월 제수예라 지야디 아니 겨월 덥침부 임벌이 덥침부 수그래 제사 시바 제수예라 세디 아니 제수예라 세야디 겨울에 제수예라 제야디래 단지셔야디 미겨울에 제수예라 제수는 띠버봐 겨울에 제수예라 전에 겨울에 단데디 야라 시바디 제수예라 세야디 셴기 자와 상부 제바딜라 가오고 미야딜라 제수예라 세야디 개침부 임벌이.
So then the fourth limb is rejoicing. So then it is act as similar as before. So when you rejoice on others' misdeeds and misfortune, so then that actually creates negative karmas. Similar like that, if you rejoice on others' the virtuous act and their happiness, so that also creates positive karma. So similar way in the negatives. So then that practice is very simple, and that actually creates immense virtuous karma.
어디 제사 제롬부치기 배바 충이 랍진 초드바스 제수 결라 제수예라 초드 숨스제 깔레시다 자먹고라 아니 겨도 침부 사야디 가레지고래 제수예랑고 현다기 자와상부지 예수나 텔레 제수예랑고 야보리 삼바르디 가오고 미야텔레 제수예랑시게 다디 깔레 자먹고라 겨도 침부 윤구이바 제삼 배바 충이 랍지 초디바세야디
So as Jetsongkhapa said, that if you wish or intend to accumulate merit, like immense, a lot of the virtuous karma without any effort, so then practice rejoicing. So rejoicing is something that doesn't require the arrangement or anything like other practices. Just bringing your mind in a positive state, in enjoying others' happiness and others' virtuous deeds. So by having that mindset, creates positive karma without any effort. Effort like other virtuous actions requires physical and verbal the efforts.
다디는 겨울에 제수예라 세야디 제야디 겨와딜라 상계기 겨와 빼나 다자고 돈 버샤자 투버게 전주 선배가 줘봐제 뒤잠바 아니 심제기 디기기 치도 랑기 류 땅와 롱주 땅와 보다 보면 충말라 소바 땅와 아니 간제 딘데 개바빠도 매바 땅시브레 다자고 돈 버게 전주 선배 줘봐 사마제 군도 전주 선배 내가서 심제기 디기기 강에서야겠지도 류다 롱주다 소바 빠도 매바 땅야래 어두스 땅바두스 배야버리 삼바제 제수이라 제베나 아니 계제담이 숨기바도 초사버봐 계제 담에 숨기봐도 초사버리. 아니, 되네 사게네 뒤적이 돼. 봐도 매버 제기여봐. 안제베인사 도술라 가와금 제수여란 제베이나 땅주 개와도 침부사게 해래. 제사 개와를 제수여란 제 상계기 뭐 제주 선배 내가서 개와 근데 사도 상계는 뒤제된도 아니 현도 봐도 매버 제여봐. 도술단도 일했지니 도술 가와금 바티 제수나 아니 제수이랑 아시게 디 제수는 아니 나란줄라 초바도 매버서게 어디서비에서 제수 단다디 돈바상계기 겨라 제수이랑 지나 어디지 지구레스.
So practicing rejoicing is so simple that you can rejoice Buddha Shakyamuni's virtuous deeds. So when he was on the path, or when he was training on the path, so then he carry out 6 perfection practices and all the time. So then course of his life, different lives, then he sacrificed his own life, and also he gave away his wealth to others, and all of his possession to others, even his wife and children. And then so then he sacrificed everything everything for sentient beings, right? And then when he become a Buddha, but still he constantly keep helping sentient beings. And when you when you remember that, and also then you can rejoice the Buddha Shakyamuni's deeds. And when we do that, it said that we accumulate a lot of merits. So then so that's really easy way to accumulate merits.
상계 좀데 된거 제주 선배 집에서도 개불을 겨와만 부시야래. 개불 겨와만 부시. 아니 아야 시도 좀봐 내 심제도 류도롱주도 충마다 부도 보몰라서부터 수다 된데 제야래. 제사 제주 선배신이데 전주 선배 집에서도 아니 잡아지 인구야 말해. 폐저 다자 그 돈박이 예색이 줘봐 제도 뭐 개벌어서 버티데 총 개벌 개완지니 다티 만부제야래. 아니 어디네 만부제야래. just
So then when we look at his life stories, so many times he rebirth as a king, and then he gave away wealth, the possession of the kingdom to others, and he sacrificed all kinds of things. So then that actually suggests that in order to carry out practice of such perfections, so it's not necessary we have to be a sangha or monk or ordained person. So even lay person can carry out practice of such perfections, as a Buddha he did when he was a Bodhisattva. So then so that's why. So he said that. So that's why. So you should not think that you are not capable of doing all this practice of such perfection.
뭐 전주 선배 집에서 김난네 심제기 때 봐도 매버지기야래. 아니 전주 선배신이데 개색이 집에제 인도 좀 아니 랍중치 인구기야 말해. Kimbe tenle Jeju Sempa Padu Meba Yubare. Kimbe tenle Janju Karasugure, Janju Sembe Juba Jayati, and the Karasugure. And Janju Sem Communita, Janju Sem Gula Kinyela, Rabjun Kuyamari. Murgi to die into Zamba, and Trudota, any jig, Janju Sembe Java Janya Pejo at any Jesi, any dingy Kimna Nene, any Jessica Juvala Lomyet, but never ever. Jessa, Madame Janju Sem Comye Seati, Rab to Juaji in Kuguyamari. Janju Semba Signati, Rab to Juan in Kuguyamari. Any Chimbala. Janju Semba Padu Meva Yubare.
So again, when we think of bodhisattvas, so it's not necessarily all bodhisattvas are sanghas, and also the bodhisattvas, when they carry out their practice of six perfections, many times they adopt laypersons' lifestyles. And they come as a king, and they also come as ordinary beings, ordinary husband, ordinary the wife, and then they carry out the six perfection practice of six perfections. So then they through that practice they accumulate a lot of merits, and they fulfill their goal. They fulfill their the practices. And also if you look at many Mahasiddhis, so Mahasiddhis. So they also many times they adopt the layperson's life, and through that life and through that practice, so they have achieved their goal and they become enlightened.
Dine di sangye ki gewala chesu yera chiyati, da sangye tong zanyi la soba padu meba yarwa. Dine Janju Semba gewala chesu yera chiyana, Janju Semba sinyati. Duda nega tamje to ran yawa to simje ki kange seya ta simje ki dewa tubya ki chi tu kyanja tu sim sheje shunye jimbare de shiragi ngomza chimbarwa ngaranzu simje ki dunda de samlu ti samlu kwaya de kabu 가드 코안에 뒤 튼두질이야 딘데지 쿠그리야 야마라바 아티에서는 자주 선바스니티 아니 심제기 강에서야기 치도 심제기 강에서야 둥에서야기 치도 심제 투심 장장 심제기 대화주야기 치도 가르치고 또 장장 전에 딘데 투심신이 짐브레 아니 뒤에서 다 두수르데 제수이나 제베이나 아니 난주 겨와 빠두면 버서기 알았다 나랑주 그 딘데 연구야 말아 자주 선바티 배라 요도 심제기 디기기 치도 장장 투심이 다니지야래 다디 신도네 공부를 봐 어디 자주 선배 겨울에 제수이나 제네 아니 겨와 빠두면 버서기 알아
So we can rejoice on Buddha's virtuous deeds, like there are 1,000 Buddhas, countless Buddhas. We can rejoice the deeds of countless Buddhas and 1,000 Buddhas and so on. And similar, like we also rejoice on Bodhisattvas' virtuous deeds. So then the Bodhisattvas, their primary goal is to bring happiness for sentient beings. So they totally abandon their own benefits. So they never consider their own pleasure and their own happiness. Whatever they do, any maybe like simple act, always something that try to bring happiness for other sentient beings. So that when we look at that kind of mindset, it's really profound and it's really precious. So then for us, so it's really difficult to achieve in that level, and really difficult to have that kind of mindset. Even though if you try to have that mindset, bodhicitta mindset, so then we have to do it really forcefully and put a lot of effort. Even though we succeed in that stays really short period of time. It goes away, easily. Even if it requires a lot of effort to gain that kind of mentality, but it goes away really easily. So then the bodhisattvas, they have that intention all the time. So no matter what they do, everything is actually oriented to bring happiness for sentient beings. So when we look at that, their precious mind and their profound intention, so then we can rejoice on their virtuous deeds. So then we may not able to gain or develop bodhicitta, but at least we are capable of rejoicing the bodhisattvas virtuous deeds. So that is something we can do. So then we should rejoice bodhisattvas virtuous deeds.
That's a Sanjay the Jeju Sembagi Geology Jesu Yarake Tinganando Lel Habayore, Samlo Tonguyari, Lel Habayari, Tele Megawachi Kigimarva, Taranzu Karayari Yangas, Randa Ranyam Tosugi, Kawachi Chitutamba, and it tele Jesu Yarama Jevici, Gashiki Tatoji, Shindaji Randa Ranyam Chigi, Kawa Sambuchi Chigitune. Anta ko ti dagasre signirabo ko ti jade ko namju ko daribe rachaja jebre misho namju joba nyembo yare samsara tinde khogrba oti nyanga chisho de randa ranyimla jawa sambuchi nyetile ya jesu yera ge de kale khabu yobre ti Jesu yaran Jesu ku rangi jonju paju be chimbar chi tansune ti yapari sambara chi chegu yare anje tin nangme tu ta aranju gewa chimbi tinde jinye tu sule nangme ta ku nangme tangirba Cowabunga marba odi Gyumed bare gewa chunju chi Jesune yapari sambaji Tinde Cheguye. Di Jida Ani Aranzoli Nyanga Karriesene Aranda Ranyumichi Chitu Zambani, di Jesu Yara Majeviche ya Tado Gia de Jia Nyanga Yarava, Tati Nyanga Chisho di Jesu Yara Karasugure, Gekasho di Randa Ranyumta, Rale Mawa Tosugi Kawachi Jesuna. Tele Jesu Yaran Jiadi Kabuyari, Jesan Dusu Janguyari.
So in general, sort of like relatively, it's easy to rejoice Buddhas and Bodhisattvas virtuous deeds. So something that we can do, and we may not have problem with that kind of practice. It's easy to do that. So then when it comes to being some being that equal to you, so that is actually difficult. So it's like that actually weaken your practice. So instead of rejoicing their virtuous deeds, we sometimes develop jealousy, aversion towards their happiness and their virtuous deeds, and even also someone's lower to you, same thing. So it's really difficult. So that's why we need to do a lot of practice, make it habit in your life. So then even if you see, so for instance, if someone you don't like, or someone's your enemy, as your enemy. So if they do some kind of positive actions, if they carry out some kind of dharma activities, so then so you may bring up like a really stupid kind of excuse and saying that so this person is very bad, and you're bringing some other reasons why his practice is not authentic, not real. So you're saying this person has been really bad, so how come I can't believe he's doing such a good thing. They must have something in his mind doing that. So we tend to bring that kind of reasons to feel jealous on others' virtuous deeds. So then, so that is really danger to us. This really happens to us easily. So then we need to make a habit. Even like since we are able to rejoice Buddhas and Bodhisattvas deeds with all these reasons. So then we also have some kind of mentality or some kind of look on our the individuals, fellows, someone's equal to you. So then if you do that, so then we need to make it habit. So if you do that, it's trying to rejoice, even though this individual may be a bad person in general, if that individual carry out any form of simple, even it's like a simple positive actions, dharma action, that is pure. So then for that you should rejoice. You should feel really good about that actions instead of feeling jealous or having jealous on that individual.
Ti jesa tati 개침부 임을 가는 문주기 장주기 셈 금주 잠바 셈제 탐제기 동해들 되는 지마로 대화던 되는 지마로 세 대화도 대외교단 되는 지마로 동해도 동해교단 되는 지마로 장주기 셈 기도 잠바 뒤제고 여러봐 뒤에서는 동해기교 대외교 교화 제수나 먼저 가꾸고요 그래. 수 딘데 제수네 교화 주수나 수수 가꾸고요. 그래서는 심제 그 된지야티 켈렌 차려봐. 심제 탐제 그 된지야티 켈렌 차려 인사 아니 심제 그 된디 랑게 제목고 벌 심제 코란 그게 제베 후다 제베이나 때 가와 kumkugu야래. 바바디기 부구 만부치 경구구이나 부구 수수기 배 흐르준체네 자와 상부치야스네 바바디 히부가 그러와. 디다 집어 임버래. 나란주 가구구야래. 텔레 퉁주지야 매버래. 아니 타도지야 매버래. 수 개와스 지제스네 가구구이라 가르스네 심제 탐제 그 되지 자야디 자주기 심 공기야라 봐. 건반나시 전에 아니 심제 그 되는데 수수기 되지야디 양으로 줘라 봐. 코란주 그 자와 상부지 제스나 아니 랑기 바바디기 부주지기 강에디 세구기나 부디나네 지기 랑기우다 제비네 부디 강에 부주기 강에 세야디나네 나 강미쇼 세구기야 말아 주구디 쿠란후다 제버어 자상한데 그 바바디기 어디 가버 연구를 받디나시 나란도 심대 탐제기 되지 제버데 켈레 체도 잠바더니 심지어 건드지기 삼부지에서는 아니 가와금구기야래 차도 지규매버린 버래 동주 지규야 말해 낭매도 던주 매버레스.
So then thinking Cortical conditions on Jesende. Cortical conditions.
디 란다라뉴기 아니 교화성 부제수나 아니 가와 kumku 그래서 kumku다 그래서네 먼저 chanju기 심 Gatorade, Gatorade. Jeju similar lo Changi ares. Jawa is a simple time to do chickens. Ganges segi the to be Kellen Saturdays. Then Rarang to Jesuna ni Cowabunga race.
So then if you have taken Bodhisattva vows, so then you should be more careful, when it comes to in that kind of situations. So for instance, if you have taken Bodhisattva vows, so definitely you're doing a Bodhisattva prayer in the morning. So one of the well-known or the best Bodhisattva prayer is that the prayer, it goes like this: may all sentient beings free from sufferings and the causes of sufferings. May also sentient beings have happiness or encounter with happiness and causes of happiness. Right. So this is one of the prayers. So if you are making these prayers, so then you, instead of getting jealous on others' virtuous deeds, you're supposed to be rejoice and feel happy about others' virtuous deeds. Right? So because they are creating a causes for that happiness, so you're always making a prayer for that, and they are doing it. So they are trying to create happiness, causes for happiness. So engaging in some form of virtuous acts. So that's why, for that reason, so you should rejoice their virtuous actions, virtuous action. And then so the so then similar like that. So you have taken if you have taken vows, so that is like you're acting like, you should act like the head of the house or head of a family, right? So for instance, if a father has a number of children, and the responsibility of father is that to provide protection for them and provide help or bring food or protection for these children, right? This is the father's responsibility as a father. So when you have taken the Bodhisattva vows, so you are actually acting. You are willing to act like you're taking kind of responsibility for all the sentient beings' happiness. So you are making a dedication or a commitment to bring happiness for entire sentient beings, similar like that father. So then when the father sees a child, trying to help themselves and try to stand on their feet by their own and going out and searching for a job or whatever they're doing. So if they are helping themselves, instead of getting angry at that child, so then the father will be really happy. So then because he's as a father, a responsibility is to bring happiness for them, the children's. So if they are going out and helping themselves, so the father feels good. So similar like that, as a bodhisattva, so then we should. And if someone tries to help them, doing some positive actions, trying to create some kind of positive karmas, so instead of getting jealous on them, so then we should rejoice on them because they are helping them. So we're always making a prayer to wishing them to create causes for happiness. If they are doing it, so we should rejoice them.
다때네 제수이라 세수가 다때네 디제 청고고 그아제 양알림도 소왔다바제 아니 뭐하스제 아니 디야라 좀 차례더니 슈르데 슈마데 디치도 니번 무시라세 되는 만고 주야이스. So
then the other limbs are the what's that? Confession, rejoicing, requesting to turn the Dharma wheel, and the next one is requesting not to enter the Nirvana state, and the last one is dedication prayers. So we have covered all the way down here. So next time when we come back and when we have teach the class next time, so we will start from the actual practice.
Oh, that is.
Okay, one question. Yeah.
Rinpoche, thank you. So, Rinpoche, you had spoken about when prostrating, think about all sentient beings prostrating as well. And, we've also heard that, there's also the visualization also of, almost limitless visualizations of ourselves doing the same thing. So can Rinpoche talk about the difference in results in doing, one versus the other?
Which one is the other one?
Like
Doing yourself is emanating numbers. Okay, numbers. Okay.
Myself and then versus everyone else doing
Okay.
this with me.
This is the Koran Dingyale Shendaji Kosuns, Kayans and the Pen Susuki Chatse to Zambala, Susu Patame, but Duiche, Chatse, the Neji Kosuns, Tandaging Swingal Chanani, Semja Tamji, and around the Yam the Chatse watched in the seasons. That Dini like a Kabakari or Manda Keba Yorbe, Kevin Chijun Yorbes.
Dini Chibaris, Rand Padu Mebatru, Dina Shir, Rang Kotu Simjet, Simja Padu Mebatru, Sanje. Shing Ramjana Sanja Patu Meva Yarba. Sanja Patu Meva doing la Rang Tubarete. Rand the Numba Yuva Simje Patu Meva Yuva Tikegi Tubarete. Ani Rangalu Tapatu Meva Trine Chatsabana, she Rangu Kotu Kiva Simje Patu Meva to Suge, Lu Patu Meva Tru Chatsayat Chibares.
Kuni Kakachen Keba Yorbe. Kakachen Jibarbe.
Kakachen is ne.
Bena Susu Tangme Gomni Chatsevada, Semja Tamje Namdo Chine Company Keba Yorbe.
Keba Yare, Simja Patu Meva teaches ne.
Yaga Yorla.
Niga Kuguyare.
So, in general, of course, if you visualize all sentient beings with you, will be much beneficial, better. But you can mix this visualization together, integrate those two visualizations. So, for instance, the yourself emanating countless and doing prostration, and similar, like so, you can imagine each of sentient beings is emanating their own. The emanation identical, numberless of them, they're identical in doing prostrations. So that will be like having both visualization at the same time. Shaka.
That's such
Long mandala. Do you have here? Do you have a copy?
I'm sorry, short mandala, but with the offering rites, which are...
Okay. Because many things some jarring see do.
Many things to do Chan.
Or do you then many things some jarring see? Jarring see today.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, because you're not ending the teaching, right? So we wait until later on to do that.
Jembo Shima with the Guin see. Gemma with the chair or Gemma and the chair, but that's Tamare on the shield.
Courage.
The Gemma chicken is do.
Yeah.
Sa shi bege joje medo dan re ra lin shin nin de Jampa de sangye shin do me de wu wa ye do gu nam da shin la je ba sho idam guru rana la ban ya ta ya me. Do you want to do it in English, all dedication prayers?
Yes.
Okay.
Jeju Semjo.
말콘도 인진al 도야 도 쇠샤. 인진al 도야 쇠샤. 인진al 도야 쇠샤. Okay. You.
Due to the merits of these virtuous actions, may I quickly attain the state of a Guru Buddha, and lead all living beings without exception into that enlightened state. May the Supreme Guru Bodhisattva that has not arisen arise and grow. May that which has arisen not diminish, but increase more and more.
That's it.
Now you want to do it today.
You want to do it? Kanri rawe gorwe shi pendan dewa mali jungwe ne chere siwa tenzin yazo shabe si de badu tenjo je
Jeju Semjo.
Rinpoche 찾았으나 예 반항 개요
Jeba, Jampa, me.
Paya Gone Kondo Bewara Show.
Oh, that.
Okay. Yeah. In Tibetan. Gilden Duje, Khensur, Tile Jo, Dojo, Dabo, Londo, Jeje, Lose, Namla, Riland, Meden, Lamdun, Jevisha, Sowa, De.
Thank you.